Just know that perfection can actually paralyze your progress. The worst thing that you would ever do is tell yourself that, okay, this has to be perfect. I need to consistently hit this and achieve this goal every day, or I cannot. You're not a robot. It cannot happen. You would fail. You would make mistakes. There are days where you just cannot. Sit down and ask yourself, if you look back at 2025, what are those things that if you have achieved them, you would feel proud of yourself, you always wanted to do, that you've just been procrastinating on? So what I did for me was I sat down and I divided my life into 4 main pillars. The first one was my religion, which is Islam. The second one, just 20 minutes a day, just 20 minutes every day. That's what I told myself. Do it in a way that it's manageable, because if you have too many goals, you would feel overwhelmed and you'll just crash and burn out after a week. I realized that is not good, because I wake up in the morning in panic mode. So I forced myself, like I said, something I really started. I bought this journal and it's called 5 minutes a day, and it has the morning. Okay, if I wake up early, I'm able to have a good shower, slow, warm. I don't have to rush, you know. I can go to the kitchen, prepare things. For me, I use an app called Habit, and it's a really good app. It's another app that I really love is the AnyDo app. I have known this app. The last app that I want to show you, which I really love, is called Screen Zen. It kind of restricts you. But then the trick here is, on some days when I don't want to eat meal prep food, I buy food. I'm serious. I buy food. I can't come and kill myself. I buy food and I eat. But now, because I woke up early, I'm arranging things. Before I leave, I actually literally fix my bed so well. And when I get back from work, I don't get on the bed. Everything is in place. So coming back, hello there, my name is Zainab, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Great Lock-in. It is the latest trend on the internet. Mostly I've seen a lot of videos about it on TikTok.
The Great Lock-in of 2025 starts today, September 1st through December 31st.
If you have not heard about it, I'm going to explain to you what the Great Lock-in is. So basically, it is the idea that from September to December, you lock in, you re-strategize, you focus, you restart, rediscipline yourself, all these words, to achieve all those goals that you wanted to achieve from the beginning of the year. As the year goes by, we just get busy, you lose track of your goals, and you're not able to achieve some things. So with this trend, it's just a way of you re-strategizing and restarting everything, so that at the end of the year, when you look back, you know that you've achieved not every goal, but then your most important goals, or things that are very important to you. So the reason why I found this trend interesting was I just felt like the year was ending and I had not achieved anything, in the sense that I have achieved some things, but then all the goals that I had set out to achieve in the beginning of the year, it just felt like I hadn't made progress. I was feeling burnt out. I didn't even have a routine, all these things. So I just did not want to wait till January. And also, according to things that people have said online, September is actually a very good month for you to start. Some people actually consider it the new year instead of January. That's when winter starts. There's less events. You're not going out as often. Children are going back to school. So you're just more focused. It's no longer summer, so you're not carried away with all that hype and events. I also wanted to add that most likely you would be seeing this video at the ending of September, because today we're at 21st September and it'll take me a week to edit it. But I just wanted to say that if you're watching this video, let's say beginning of October or even mid-October, whenever you see it, it's not too late. It's never too late for you to lock in and achieve the goals that you want to achieve. But then this was just a good way to get people motivated and to start 2026 off strong, because 2025 was an interesting year. Let's not get into that. As I was saying, in this video, I would be sharing with you what I have been doing these past 3 weeks that have worked for me and have made me feel like I am actually making progress in my goals compared to how I was before. I have set up systems, I have set up habits, routines, all these things. And one thing I've realized over these past 3 weeks, it's not really the big things you do. It's those little things. It's those little habits, or just it's something little that you commit to doing that makes your morning better, that makes your day better. I have realized that if you look at it, it's not really that difficult. When you have the right systems in place and you have the right habits and you don't overwhelm yourself, I think we make a very big mistake with setting too many goals. Re-strategize and choose, let's say, 2 to 3 goals or 4 goals that you're going to focus on that would make you feel like you're ending the year strong. So let's get into it. What I want you to do, the first step, is sit down and ask yourself, if you look back at 2025, what are those things that if you have achieved them, you would feel proud of yourself? What are those things that you can do within these 3 to 4 months that would make you feel like you have not wasted your year? What is that thing that you've always wanted to do that you've just been procrastinating on, but you told yourself that you don't have enough time to do that? So what I did for me was I sat down and I divided my life into 4 main pillars. The first one was my religion, which is Islam. The second one was career progression. The third one was health, beauty and wellness. And then the fourth one was exploration. And these are all things that are important to me. These are things that if I am making progress on them, it makes me feel like I'm making progress with my life. All my habits are under these things. With each pillar, I broke it down into little parts. So I asked myself, what 2 to 3 things can I do under these pillars that would make me feel like I am making progress on this pillar, like I am not stagnant? It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be the entire thing. So think about, for example, with career, there's so much to do. With mine, I feel like there's so much research, so much I need to learn, so many CVs. But guess what I did? I told myself, Zainab, under the career progression pillar, if every day you can do 20 minutes of career research, whatever it is, 20 minutes of just applying for a job or just reading about an industry, because now I'm trying to learn about other industries just to see what I am interested in, right? Or just 20 minutes of looking at this job description, just 20 minutes a day, just 20 minutes every day. That's what I told myself. Because the problem was, for almost 2 to 3 months, I have been complaining. I have been beating myself down. I've been feeling sad. Oh my God, I'm not doing anything. I'm not making progress in this aspect. What am I doing? This is not what I want to do. But then when I opened the laptop to try and find something, it's just overwhelming. There's so many jobs, there's so much negativity. I just don't know what I want to do. So the fact that it was overwhelming for me to even sit down and look at these things, because I felt like I needed to block out 2 to 3 hours to sit down and write CVs or apply for jobs, I told myself 20 minutes. And Zainab, if you do this for 20 minutes, then you've made progress. And guess what happened, guys? I'll sit down here after work and I'm like, because I'm telling myself 20 minutes, it's not a big deal. I literally set a timer, and for 20 minutes, I'll be looking at, let's say, searching about an industry or looking at a job description, and I'll find it interesting, and it's past 20 minutes and I'm still there, and I'll do it for like an hour or 45 minutes, you know? And then on some days, I'll just be there for 20 minutes because honestly, I'm not in the mood, but then I just want to know that, yes, I did it. It's knowing that I do what I say I'm going to do. It's knowing that, oh, okay, I'm making progress in this aspect of my life. I'm not abandoning it. I'm not doing everything that I want to do. I'm not achieving all the goals. There's so much more I can do with my career progression. Something is better than nothing. It's that little thing that would get you to doing something bigger. It's that little 20 minutes that you spend doing it that will lead you to spending 1 hour. But then if you tell yourself that you have to sit down and block out 3 hours, you're not going to do it. So the next pillar is health, beauty and wellness. And with this pillar, there's just so much habits and goals under it. So health for me is basically eating healthy, trying to lose weight. I'm trying to lose weight now. And skincare, my skin used to be so much better than it is now, but then I have not been consistent with my skincare routine because when I come back from work, I'm tired in the morning. I don't even have the energy to get into a whole routine and put as many products as I would like to. So that has been wrecking my skin, as well as with just healthy eating. It's not even about weight loss, but then I've been eating shitty over the past few months, just eating junk food, not exercising, so many things. But then I have built habits and systems that have helped me feel like I'm making progress with these, and I'll explain them to you later. I'll break them down. And the last pillar is exploration. I thrive on exploring and being happy. I thrive on going outside and doing things and taking pictures and videos of things. The reason why this is a pillar is because of how important it is, in the sense that when I'm not exploring, when I'm not seeing things, when I'm just at home, I feel depressed. I feel sad. I feel like I'm not making it. Life just feels gloom, and I never really thought it was a huge problem for me until I realized that wasn't it. The reason why you feel sad and you feel depressed is because you don't go out, not like you used to. You just go to work and come back home and go to sleep during the weekend, because, which is valid, you're tired from Monday to Friday going to work, but then you don't go anywhere. But I have found a system that I'm still able to explore. I'm still able to do things and go out on walks, go to the shopping mall, do things, and still not feel tired. So the reason why I went into talking about creating these pillars is when you categorize things, it's easier for you to break them down. It's easier for you to track and see what can you add, what can you remove. If you sit down and you just have a list of goals, you look back and feel like, oh, okay, in this aspect, there's this thing I want to do, but then I'm not doing it. But when you categorize your life into pillars, you're like, okay, maybe this, under this, I can do these 2 things, or I can do 1 thing. You look back and feel like I'm not doing everything. I'm not making progress progress in everything. It's not a grand change, but you feel more like a whole person because you know that you're not leaving anything behind, because there's always one or two things that you can do under any pillar. So your pillars might be totally different from mine. So yeah, just know that you can't do everything. Just try to narrow your focus. You do it in a way that it's manageable, because if you have too many goals, you would feel overwhelmed and you'll just crash and burn out after a week. It's like consistently putting yourself through so much pain, because if you're not used to doing these things, you are not that person. You can't force yourself to just be that in 1 week. So now I'll talk you through the systems and routines that have worked for me. And guys, genuinely believe me, like truly do. If you have the best system and the best routine, automatically you would be able to, like, it would just be in flow. You would need to put in the effort, but then if you put the right systems and routines in place, you won't have to put in as much effort. These things your body would be like on autopilot. You won't even know, and you'll be doing these things. You would be ticking off your goals. The most important thing in whatever, if you don't take anything from this video, is just have the right routine and system in place. That is what is going to make you successful. If you don't have the right system, forget about it. If you don't have a routine in place and you just want to do it, just go on autopilot and believe in discipline, especially that discipline thing, you cannot always be 100% disciplined. Your discipline will not work. There are times where it cannot just work. But then if you have a system and routine in place, it would help you be more disciplined. Even when you don't feel like being disciplined, there would be something that you would have put in place to mitigate that problem. So now, first, let's get into the system. The first one is habit trackers. I have a love-hate relationship with habit trackers, and I'll explain to you why. Previously, in the past, I used to be that person who would put 20 things on my habit tracker. Literally, I woke up early, I brushed my teeth, I took a bath, and I know that was crazy, but then so many things on the habit tracker, and that doesn't work. That is not good. Don't do it. If it works for you, do it. But what I have found works is prioritizing things, not putting everything on that. Let me tell you, there's a trick to it. Let me explain. On your habit tracker, put those things that are most important, that if you achieve them in the day and when you're done ticking them, you would feel like you've done well. That day is a success. So let me explain it this way. Let's say you have 10 habits that you want to do every day. But out of those 10 habits, there are priorities. There are ones that are more important than the others. Don't put those 10 habits. Maybe if you're that, you like to track things, put them in another tracker, but then have a main tracker where, let's say, you just put 5 of those habits. And you tell yourself that if you take 4 or 3 out of these 5 habits that you have put on that tracker, that was a good day. You were successful. That's what you'll do. Because what that would do for you is it would reduce pressure. It would teach your brain to prioritize, because all these goals that I have mentioned and all the things that you want to do, no matter what, even though yes, we are talking about prioritizing, there's always one that would have more priority over the other. So it would trick your brain during the day into thinking, okay, I can't do this, I don't have the energy, because you always won't have the energy to do everything. But then I know that at the end of the day, if I do this, this, and this, then I would know that that was a good day. So for me, for example, I have a lot of goals that I want to achieve, but then the main ones would be reading 2 pages of Quran, making sure that I ate mindfully, not really in a calorie deficit, but then mindful eating, not buying food outside. If I have 4 to 5 main goals on that tracker, they would be my priority through the day. I have other goals that I want to achieve for that day, but those ones are the forefront of my mind. So if I do them, I wouldn't look at myself as a failure. I wouldn't think, oh no, Zainab, this was such a bad day, because you can't always be at 100% every day. So people have different ways that they track their habits, but for me, I use an app called Habit. And it's a really good app. It's worked for me. I've had it almost for 3 to 4 years now, and I'll show you how it looks. So you can add whatever task you want. It could be cycling, swimming, whatever it is. You could also customize it. You could add, let's say, for example, running, right? And you could change the icon, you could change the color, you could put how many times you want it to get ticked, whether it's once a day, a week, a month. You could set reminders, whether you want it in the morning, afternoon, or evening. And for example, like I was saying before, the old me, I kid you guys, I'm not kidding, like here would be so long, like there would be so many lists. It's such a good app. As you can see here, it tracks what you've done over the past months. This crown that you see on here, this one, you get the crown if you've achieved all the tasks for the day. And I love that it keeps the metric for you, and you're able to look back and see that, oh, okay, these are the habits that I tracked for this month. You could track your habits on a weekly basis, a monthly basis. And another thing I love about it is you could also pause when you don't want to use it anymore, or when you're on vacation or on a break. All these things, it's so good. I've used it for years. I think they have a premium version too, so it just depends on you. You could also sync it to your iCloud in case if you have it on other apps like your iPad. It's such a nice app. I think you should check it out. I'm not really going in depth into what the app has to offer, but then just in general, it's such a good app. So yeah, that's that. My first system is my habit tracker. The second one is, I'm literally looking at it, is you don't have to do it this way, but I plan how my week is going to go every Sunday. So I have this whiteboard. You don't have to have a whiteboard. You could use a notebook or on your phone. There are apps for these things. When I wake up in the morning, I can look at Monday and I can see, okay, these are the priorities for Monday. I can look at Tuesday and see these are the priorities for Tuesday. Because if you have it at the forefront of your mind, it's easy for you to track it. It's easy for you to prioritize it when you can see it. Also, looking at your week just in general. For example, this week I have more free space. Another app that I really love is the AnyDo app. I have known this app for almost 5 years, and I've used it for almost 5 years. It's so good. So you know how during your day you just get this idea and something pops up in your head and you're like, oh, I need to do this. I love it because you can easily, instead of writing it in your notes, you can easily put it on there and then set reminders. You can schedule things to remind you tomorrow, or tasks that are upcoming, or tasks that you want to do but that you're not sure of the date. You get, say for example, you want to wash plates, you can schedule it to remind you tomorrow, and then that's it, it's on here. And then if you're not sure, let me just put laugh for example, you just put someday and it's on here and you can look at it. If you're done, you tick. It makes me feel more organized, and there's so much more that you can actually do with the app. I used to do so much more with it before, but as you can see now, it's really empty. I just use it for specific things, but you can create different types of lists. And then under those lists, then you can have things you want to do, let's say today, tomorrow, upcoming, or Sunday. So for example, that is under personal. You can create groceries, so you can have specific lists in the app, which I think is really good. So this is another app that helps me stay organized. The last app that I want to show you, which I really love, is called Zen. It kind of restricts your social media usage, or any app that you want to restrict your usage. I really love it because, especially if you just impulsively open apps and click on it, you can put timers on it and regulate how often you use the app, or how many hours you use it for, or even how frequently you open the app. So for example, this group, you can name the group. You can choose how many apps. Apart from choosing how many apps, you can also choose how many seconds. So what it does is your app forces you to wait either 5, 10, 15 seconds before you can open the app. So this is good for if you're impulsively just clicking and opening things and you're not really thinking about it, especially maybe if you're just having a busy day and you end up just mindlessly scrolling on Instagram or TikTok. You can also write a custom message, whether the message pops up when you open the app, when you're about to open the app. So mine is, Zainab, is this important? You're also able to set a daily goal. So you can tell yourself, okay, in total, I want to be on this app for 2 hours. But apart from being on the app for 2 hours, you're going to give yourself leverage in the sense that you can open the app 4 times in a day. So that's like, I think 30 minutes. I'm not good with maths. You can also set schedules. So automatically it would go into these settings between certain times. For me, it's early morning to my first break at work. And once work closes to around 9 in the evening, by then I'm back from work, I've settled, I've done all the important things that I need to do after getting back from work. Then I'm able to give myself an hour or two. I'm so strict with it, although sometimes I bypass it if I have important things to do or messages. So this is good for social media apps or whatever apps that are distracting you, honestly, at this point. You can also block websites, whatever it is. Yeah, so that's that. I really love the app. I've been using it, I think, for 6 months or so now. I can't really remember, but it's not been a year. It's been really good. If you want, you can pay for the premium, but then I found that the free version works really well for me. Now that we're done with the systems that I use, I'll go into routines that I have put in place and things I just add to my routines that have made achieving my goals so much easier. Guys, this is going to be long, but I think there's going to be a lot of cliches. You know that thing that your mom tells you when you get older you'll understand, or you hear older people saying a lot of things and you're like, oh please, you say it too much, or they're just being dramatic. And with time, as you get older, you realize that, oh, these people were actually right. So starting with number 1 is your sleep. How you go to sleep, how you end your night determine how good your morning is, which trickles down into whether you have a good day. Because if you have a good morning, you'll have a good day. And how you start your morning determines whether you're going to have a good day, how good your day is going to be. Now, let me break it down for you. You need to have at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And wallahi, as someone who loves being awake at night, I'm just more active at night. Once I got a 9 to 5, I realized that I could not live that life anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I would not function. When I first started my 9 to 5, I would sometimes function on 4 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, but then it started catching up to me because I was feeling so burnt out, so irritated, so miserable. But it was just because I was trying to still keep that version of me who used to be awake till 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. And I'm realizing that you can't do that anymore. And I think sometimes I used to convince myself that the reason why I tried to stay till 1, 2 is so I just feel like I have more control of my time and my day. Because when you're back from work, let's say by 5:30, 6, if realistically I'm saying I need to go to sleep by 9, 10, then I just have 3 hours. It just makes me feel like, okay, what have I done? Like, I don't have any personal time. So my own way of feeling like I have more personal time is staying till 1 a.m. And if you look at it, there's not even really much that I'm doing. It's just unnecessary things. So what would happen is I'll wake up late, waking up in a hurry to go to work, not feeling, and then my day just becomes horrible. I'm not at my best. I'm irritated. What I have found worked for me is going to sleep early. So anything 10, 11, 1 month ago, Isha was around 11. So I had to go to sleep later than that, which was 11:30. But now that Isha is around 9 something, Isha is the last prayer that Muslims have. That it's the last prayer of the day. Honestly, by 10:30, I'm in bed. 11, I'm knocked out. Maximum 11:30. Another thing I've done is leaving my phone in the living room. And I know that sounds crazy, but I actually leave my phone in the living room. I don't have the phone with me in this room, because what I've realized is when I'm unable to sleep, especially the first 1 week of trying to sleep early and get into that routine, because my brain is not used to sleeping by that time, I'll be in bed and just thinking about stupid random things. If I'm not able to sleep and I'm like, okay, let me just check my phone, and 2 hours is gone. But if the phone is in the living room, I can't get it. I can't reach it. I'm feeling too lazy to stand up, walk to the living room, get the phone. So I'll just be in bed and eventually I'll fall asleep. So the next thing I do is when I'm back from work, I don't get into my room immediately. If I packed lunch to work, I go to the kitchen and I wash that. When I wash it, if let's say I'm having granola and Greek yogurt, whatever snack I'm having, I hardly have dinner. Whatever snack I'm having, I prepare the Greek yogurt and the granola and I put it in the fridge because I like it to marinate for some time. So after I'm done with that, when I get into this room, the first thing I do, I just keep my bag there and I just go in and I take a shower. And normally before I didn't used to do that. When I get back from work, I'll come in, sit on this chair, sit on the bed, be like, oh, I'm so tired, lazy around. And what would happen by then, my whole body is weak. I'll be too lazy to go to the kitchen. I'll end up maybe ordering food, doing something silly, wasting, But if I take that shower, once I'm out of the shower, I do my ablution in the shower, I wash my face, preparing to do my skincare routine. I come out of the shower, do my skincare routine, get dressed, pray, and it's like I've cut out a lot of things. So now my dinner is already ready. I don't have any plates to wash. I've taken my shower, I feel more refreshed. I've done my skincare routine. So it's like the rest of the evening, I don't know, it just sets the tone. You just feel more serious, more productive, more focused if you do that. I also have days where I do certain things. So if it's the day where on the calendar, I'm like, I need to edit a YouTube video or fix a thumbnail, because now I'm revamping the thumbnails on my channel. I do that, and I have my snack. Time goes by, it's 9:30, 10:30, I pray, go to sleep. Another thing is also need to set downtime on your phone if you have iPhones. Even if you don't have iPhones, I'm sure there's a system for that on Androids. You need to set downtime. At a certain time, my phone will just go, the font would change, it'll go to dark, notifications won't come in. Once it's 10, my phone is in the living room and I'm getting ready to go to sleep. The good thing is I've already done my skincare routine. So if you look at it, I'm doing the most difficult things once I'm back home, when I've already had that adrenaline of being outside and taking a walk or being in the bus. Because when I let myself sit down, I won't have the energy to even do my skincare routine. I'll just be like, tomorrow I won't have the energy to go to the kitchen to prepare anything. Does that make sense? So what I've learned really is, once you get back home from work in the evening, be able to do those difficult things ahead. Not even from whatever it is, even if you're setting goals for the day, try to do the difficult things first. Eat the frog. There's this book called Eat the Frog. Do the difficult thing and get it out of the way. Then the other ones become easier for you to handle and deal with. Because when I do that, then the other things, I'm just on autopilot. I've also realized that it's really important because I'm kind of close to my workplace. If I wake up 35 minutes or 40 minutes to work, I think I can work with that. I'm able to make it to work. The only difference would be I'll be in a hurry, I'll be rushed, but then I can still make it. I might be a little late. But I realize that is not good because I wake up in the morning in panic mode. So I forced myself, like I said, sleep early, but then wake up an hour and a half early so that I just do things slowly. I have more time to do my subhi prayer. My friend said this and she told me that she tries to wake up early just so that she doesn't feel like she's just her job. I don't know, there's a way she explained it, but then waking up early and doing things that she likes for herself and not waking up early and just immediately going to work and preparing for work makes her feel better about herself. It makes her feel like she is not just her job, and that has worked for me, even though I don't do anything. But then I realized that okay, if I wake up early, I'm able to romanticize everything. I'm able to have a good shower, slow, warm. I don't have to rush, I can go to the kitchen, prepare things. I sit on the floor. I have a floor table. I have my breakfast slowly. I watch Suits, Apart from that, there's something I really started. I bought this journal and it's called 5 minutes a day, and it has the morning part of it and the evening. I journal, I write on it before work. It takes me literally 5 minutes. Once I'm done with breakfast, I stand up and I start getting dressed for work. When I'm heading to the bus stop, before I used to you think someone is chasing me, I'm running. Not running, but then I'm walking so fast. But now I'm like, I'm walking slowly, not in a rush, and life feels better. You're happier. It's just nice. So really prioritize your evenings, how you end your day and how you start your morning. Another thing I used to do is when I'm leaving in the morning, because I'm in a hurry, I literally leave this room scattered. Literally, the bed is not made. I'm throwing this because I'm in a hurry, because I woke up late, But now, because I woke up early, I'm arranging things. Before I leave, I actually literally fix my bed so well. And when I get back from work, I don't get on the bed. Everything is in place. So coming back from work and just coming into a very, literally perfect space, I make sure I arrange everything from this desk, everything. It just mentally makes me feel better. It makes me happy to come into this space. It's not like before I was leaving it dirty, but then it would be scattered. It won't be the best. Even if I arrange the bed, it just won't look the best. You get what I mean? Try to fix your space before you leave. So when you come back to a nice space. And it just mentally makes you feel happier. You feel safe. I genuinely look forward to coming back to my room because I know that I love my room literally. Also, if you have a way of making your space as comfortable as you want, in a way that when you come back home, you like your room, you like your space, you like what you're looking at, that would help. That would make things easier for you. So the other habits is basically under health and weight loss. Like I said, I've been trying to lose weight, but I have come to realize that I need to do it in a consistent way. I'm trying to be in a calorie deficit, but I'm not forcing myself every day to be in a calorie deficit. I count my calories, not every day, which I know is not the best. But I know that if I force myself and I tell myself you have to be, I'll just feel miserable. Whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're trying to achieve, do it in a way that it's enjoyable to you. Because I can force myself and I'm for the next 4 months, calorie deficit, I'll just fail and I'll end up binge eating. What I do is I meal prep. So meal prepping is very important. Everyone knows that. But I meal prep, let's say during the weekend. When I meal prep on a Sunday, I pack the foods in the glass or rubber containers just so that when I know that I'm going to work, I just need to pick it up. I don't need to prepare anything for work. On days when I have the energy, what I also try to do is I just have good breakfast. So romanticize your breakfast. Make sure whatever you're eating, you really like it and you enjoy it. Eat proteins during your breakfast. It just makes you feel more full. So I eat a lot of eggs, 3-4 eggs. I know is a lot, but then it just makes me feel more full. I also have migraines. One thing I've realized what works for me is before I used to have 2 meals a day and then I'm good, 2 huge meals. But now that doesn't work. It just tends to trigger my migraine even though I have eaten a lot. So I experienced this thing where I'm not hungry, but then I'm having a headache that I know would be solved by eating. So I try to have little snacks during the day. So I go to work with apples and bananas or just nuts. It doesn't have to be a huge deal. So prepping and knowing that what I am meal prepping ahead is food that I enjoy, not just vegetables or food that is healthy that you enjoy, that I literally look forward to my lunch at work because I know that what I have cooked is really nice and I look forward to eating it. If you're trying to lose weight, make sure it's food that you enjoy. If you cook food that you don't enjoy, it's you that will suffer. Ciao. So I do that and I look forward to what I'm eating. I have a good breakfast, good lunch, and then in the evening I have a light dinner. I won't even call it dinner because it's granola and Greek yogurt or something, you know. So if you look at it, all through the day I'm having something that I like, but then I have calculated these things ahead and I know that I'm in a calorie deficit. If I have meal prepped, I know how many calories that meal is. I know how many calories my breakfast is. But then the trick here is, on some days when I don't want to eat meal prepped food, I buy food. I'm serious. I buy food. I can't come and kill myself. I buy food and I eat. I order food and I eat out. One thing I've realized is, because I used to be an avid eating outside person, there was a time for a whole month, 2 months, I didn't cook in this house, literally. I can't just tell myself that, oh my God, shut everything down, then you can't do that anymore. I won't survive. So I let myself order food every Friday or Saturday, and I get takeout that I can eat 2 times. So if I get it on a Friday, I'll eat it Friday and Saturday, because I can't finish whatever it is, I can't finish it in one sitting. So it's also training my brain and showing my mind that, oh, okay, it's not like we've totally stopped these things. And these food that you like kukuru, I'm obsessed with that place. Kukuru, I love them so much. I get them every Friday or every Saturday. So it's knowing that I'm still enjoying the foods that I like. I also had this problem at work where I was always getting Coke to eat with my lunch that I got from home and Snickers. So either Snickers or Twix. And to mitigate that, I started going to work with apple and orange, a fruit that I really liked, and I'll have that with water. Because I'm addicted to Coke, another thing I started doing was I started getting 7-Up Zero. For some weird reason, 7-Up Zero just made me feel like I know it's kind of the same thing, but it was just better than Coke for me. I didn't have it every day. I got this huge water bottle, I'm not joking, and I started going to it with work, and I'll drink so much water. I had to use the toilet so often, but it kind of quenched that need of wanting to have something sweet. But then once in a while, if I want to have a Twix or a Snickers, I get it. It's just showing myself that I don't have to quit everything. The majority just has to be the positive. I don't have to totally stop taking Twix or Snickers, but then I have to maybe take it 20% out of 100%. Does that make sense? In general, it was just showing and telling myself that, oh, Zainab, you don't have to do everything every day. With my habit tracker, I had other tasks and goals I wanted to do for the day, but then I chose priorities. What are the most important things that if I achieve them for that day, looking back at the end of the day, I would be like, okay, this was a successful day. And think about if consistently 5 times in a week I'm achieving those priorities, it will trickle down into, oh, okay, in a whole month, wow, you have achieved a lot. If you're making progress in these tiny goals of the day, then if you look at it, you're making a general progress in that one pillar that you had set, that you said you wanted to do. Even with my finances and budgeting, I wanted to budget money more, not spend. Literally before, every little day I'll just be buying unnecessary things, £2, £3, £5, £10 unnecessarily spent every day. But then once I added no spend to my tracker, it just helped me, because that was a priority. It just helped me know that, oh, okay, Zainab, like, you didn't buy anything. So yeah, just know that perfection can actually paralyze your progress. The worst thing that you would ever do is tell yourself that, okay, this has to be perfect. I need to consistently hit this and achieve this goal every day, or I cannot. You're not a robot. It cannot happen. You would fail. You would make mistakes. There are days where you just cannot. But if you just keep showing up one at a time, one more after the other, even if you miss a few days, those systems and routines and those days that you were putting in the effort, they'll pile up and then they'll become one huge progress. Because if I'm actually being honest, everything I have said, there are days where I totally didn't do anything. I'm not even joking. Maybe I woke up early because that had already become my default. I woke up early, went to bed early, but other goals that I had set to do in the day, I just didn't do them. I just could not. I wasn't in the mood. Maybe something had upset me. But do you know what I did the following day? I went back on track like nothing happened. And that is what has made me feel consistent. Now I look back at my streak for my goals. That's why I love that habit app that I showed you, because you can see what you have achieved during the week or how many times you hit that goal during the week. I can see that, oh, okay, 5 out of 7 times I did this goal, 4 out of 7 times I did this goal, and that's a win. It can't be 7 out of 7 all the time. So yeah, whether you've stuck to your goals and you have fallen off and you're feeling disappointed, don't. You can always start back up again. It's never too late. Whatever it is you want to achieve, it doesn't have to be a Monday, it doesn't have to be a Sunday. Just tomorrow, be like, okay, I'm going to start tomorrow. Or what if it's something you can do now, leave the video and go and do it. I'm actually even serious. If it's something that you can achieve now that would make you feel like you're making progress, go and do it. but later come back to the video. But yeah, don't make it about hustling and go. Just think about it as, for me, I like to think, how can I make things easier for my future self? What is it that I can do now that my future self would look back at and think of, and she would feel proud of me? Honor your future self. What is it that you can do consistently for these next 3-4 months that the you of January 2026 will be like, wow, damn, I'm so proud of her. Thank you. Thank you, me, for doing what you did during those months. Forget about all the months that you've wasted in 2025. It doesn't matter. Those are gone. They're not coming back. What can you do now to change your life? What can you do now to end 2025 and you feel like, wow, okay, 2025 was a good year? Because we still have time. If you feel like 2025 was not a good year, you didn't do this, you still have time. It's not gone. There's so much more that you can do. You have a whole 60, 90, 120 days left, depending on when you're watching this video. But then see, even if it's just 30 days left, I assure you, you can do something with those 30 days. Don't let time deceive you. Don't let your brain deceive you into thinking it's too late. You don't need to wake up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. to go to the gym and do all these things and run. Just make one daily promise to yourself. What are those 3 to 4 things that you can choose every day or every week? Do you know something else you can do is actually even choose a goal for a week? Be like, okay, example for my YouTube, there's a week where I'm only focusing on YouTube, editing videos, thumbnails, stuff like that, and then there's a week where I'm just focusing on job applications and applying for jobs and doing things. You don't have to do everything every day. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes I made, is feeling like under all my major goals that something had to be done with each of them, feeling like, okay, with each one I have to make progress on it every day. Just choose one thing and be like, okay, I'm going to work on this for the entire week. Anytime I get, I'm going to work on it for this week, and then next week choose a different type of goal. So yeah, I'm going to repeat myself again. Sit down, pick 3 to 4 things that if you look back at the end, December 31st, you would feel like you've made progress. You would feel proud of yourself. You'll feel like 2025 was a good year. What are those 3-4 things that if you do, you would be really proud of yourself and you would feel like you've made progress? Because on this channel, we're people who love to reflect and journal. I'm going to ask you 3 questions that I want you to sit down and ask yourself and reflect on. If you want, you can also share it down in the comment section. I'll be reading them and replying to them. If you don't want, you don't have to share it, but then I think this would really help you. So the first question is, what are you tired of carrying? What is it that you don't want to carry into 2026? Is it an idea that you had? Is it a relationship that you're tired of carrying? Is it a certain dream that you have, something you thought would work out a certain way? Is it a job, a business, whatever it is? What is that thing? Is it a feeling? Is it sadness? Is it depression, anxiety? Whatever it is, what are those things that it might not feel like you can totally cut them out, but then just saying it, I think, would help. Tell yourself that, okay, this thing, I'm tired of carrying it and I don't want to go with it into 2026. Maybe if you make the intention, if you say it out loud, if you admit to yourself that this thing is becoming a burden to you and it's too much and you don't want to go into the new year with it, maybe there's a part of you that would act and work to get that thing away from you, to get rid of it, or maybe push you to act in ways where you're able to escape whatever that problem is or that thing is. The second question is, what is that one thing that would make you proud of yourself by the ending of the year? It doesn't have to be a goal or anything, but what is just that one thing that if you look at the end of the year, it has happened or you have achieved it? Maybe it's a dream, something that you want. What is that one thing that if you look back and you've done it, you would be really proud of yourself? And the last question is, what do you want to feel more of? Is it peace, happiness, joy, ease of life, discipline? I think for me, I'll answer this question. That feeling that I want to feel more of would be peace. I want to feel more peace. I don't want to go into it, but I would just love to feel more at peace. I would love to have less anxiety attacks. I would really love to feel more at peace. Yeah, that's that. I really hope this video helped you. I genuinely hope it did. I hope I said something that you can take away with you that would make the end of the year as good as it would be. And I would just want to say that even though this video was for 2025 and September to December lock-in, I really think what I have said applies to whatever time of the year you watch it or whenever you watch it. So it doesn't really matter when it is, whatever it is. I think a lock-in is when you decide you want to lock in. It's not when the internet decides, even though this is a trend, which is a really good trend. It's not when the internet decides, it's when you decide you're going to lock in. It doesn't matter what date, what year. So whenever you see this video, hopefully it does help you and you get to take some of the tips and things I have said. And yeah, that's that. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also check out other videos on my channel. and good luck. I hope we all look back at the ending of 2025 and we're so proud of ourselves, of all we've done and the discipline and consistency we've put in. But yeah, bye.